Leave the World Behind, a movie that was scripted and produced by Barack Obama, was released on Netflix on December 8th, 2023. Before that, it did have a world premiere as the opening film of the AFI Fest on October 25th, 2023. But before that, the production and the script of Leave the World Behind began in 2021. Leave the World Behind started as a book in 2020, which Barack Obama absolutely loved, and he loved the idea of a movie based on this book. But ex-President Barack Obama wanted to make the movie differ than the book. He actually wanted to show how things might unfold in reality. And that's exactly what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk so much about the movie Leave the World Behind, but I do want to talk about things that are unfolding currently in reality that this movie pretty much accurately predicted. The movie Leave the World Behind centers on all of America's enemies coming together to pull off a very successful attack on the United States. Those enemies include Iran, China, North Korea, and Russia. Make no mistake about it, as of right now, we are under attack by Iran, China, Russia, and North Korea. Are they dropping weapons on us and there's explosions everywhere? No, but they are still hitting us in ways that can be deemed as an attack. We are being invaded by the southern border by these countries. Men who are of age, men who are of conflict age are entering the border. They are being allowed to enter and they're being shipped off to New York. Now, as I said in plenty of my videos, even though I do lean conservative, I don't believe in the left-right paradigm. I don't believe in Democrat and I don't believe in Republican. Because at the end of the day, they are still controlled by the same head, and that head belongs to groups like the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, the Brotherhood. In my previous video in regards to Leave the World Behind, I have pointed out all the signs and symbols that they are letting us know that the events that are taking place inside their fictional movie that is eerily predicting all the events that's taking place today are being caused by the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood is in control of all the events that we are seeing taking place. So now you might be saying then, well, what the hell is the Brotherhood? What are you talking about? Why are you being so vague? Because if I do say their real name, what YouTube likes to do is put a big blue fact-checking bar on the video. And what that means is they will recommend your video less if you say their name. But to let you know what I'm talking about, just think of a group that calls themselves free, a free people. Anytime I do talk about this group, I do have people that are saying, well, I'm a part of this group. My neighbor's a part of this group. My father's a part of this group. We do nothing but help the community. Are you trying to say we're trying to end the world? But what I have to say to that is, even though you might not be part of this group, this smaller group that's trying to control the world, because that's for the upper echelon, the 33rd degrees and higher, the secret degrees. But even though you're part of this bigger group that goes around helping the community, and you're doing nothing but being a part of this innocent brotherhood, if you have to take a vow of secrecy, if you have to take an oath of secrecy, anything that's done in the shadows, anything that needs secrecy and cannot come out in the light is not good, no matter what way you try to paint it. I'm not going to look at the comment section and read your excuses why your brotherhood is good. I'm not going to do that. When the upper echelons are wearing diapers and performing rituals and oaths of secrecy, and they get to a certain enlightenment where they follow the Luciferian gospel. We have an ex-president who is beyond the 33rd degree levels, who is in that secret draconian levels, because you can't be a president of the United States and be just a 33rd degree person. The movie that he scripted, this free person, this ex-president free person, the movie he scripted is just loaded, scene by scene. I couldn't believe it. Just loaded, scene by scene, with free people imagery. We have the pillars, we have the X's, we have the 666, we have the free people colors, just plastered all throughout this movie. A movie that's about the end of the United States. The end doesn't start with weapons and destruction and chaos, no. It begins as a simple power out. It begins with hacking. As coincidence may have it, what are we seeing today? China-affiliated hackers hit critical United States infrastructure. Computer systems for water, power, communications, and transportation bodies have been affected, and this is on December 12th. December 14th, United Kingdom at risk of catastrophic cyber attack at any moment. The same style of hacking that the United States is facing. The United Kingdom's critical national infrastructure vital to the proper functioning of society. including energy and water supply, as well as health, transportation, and telecommunications, is also in severe jeopardy. We have eerily seen this being predicted or scripted just days prior when the movie Leave the World Behind was released. In the movie, everything needed to make a society function was hacked: transportation, telecommunications, power. People were not in good health, they were sick. There was even scenes in the movie where notes and letters were being dropped from the skies, and these notes read, "End of America." Pamphlets in a foreign language were being dropped stating how they were attacking the United States and how they were going to put an end to the United States. Well, what are we seeing today? Numerous Ohio school districts receive emails claiming Russian organization is targeting American schools. Now, the police are saying this is deemed not credible, but they are still in high alert. But it's just not Ohio, it's the entire United States. FBI warns the threat of violence is heightened this holiday season. The FBI warned that the conflict that's going on in the Middle East could heighten the risk of lone actor violence targeting large public gatherings. Agencies state they don't have specific evidence of planned incidents. Instead, they say such holiday gatherings may present an appealing target for lone actors due to the religious or symbolic natures. They say gatherings may present an opportunity for an attacker to target Jewish, Christian, Muslim, or Arab communities. But what did we just see just a couple days ago that I made a video on? I took that video down, but I will include it in this video towards the end. But I took that video down about a Russian man who flew on a Los Angeles flight without a passport or a ticket. He just didn't hide, evade, sneak, and was very stealthy about it. No, he walked right up to security, TSA, bypassed them with no identification or a ticket. He goes up to the gate agent, bypasses the gate agent with no identification or a ticket, and just boards the plane. A plane that is heading to Los Angeles. The script is perfectly writing itself. Since 10/7, even before 10/7, like I said, in September, we were seeing those signs go up in New Jersey: see something, say something, report acts of terror. So this was going on even before the conflict of 10/7. But we have this event break out in the Middle East, and they say it will spill over to the United States and the rest of the world. We are all very tense. There are travel advisories, and yet our air marshals are being taken off the planes and being put onto the southern border. All this time, they did not care about what goes on at the southern border. They didn't give one red cent. But now, oddly enough, when we have these travel warnings going on, we want to take all our air marshals off planes and put them to the southern border. Make that make sense. We are on very heightened alert, and yet we're getting stories where people from countries that are having conflicts with the United States are bypassing TSA, are bypassing security, gate agents, and boarding planes to the United States. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and continue with what happened with that story. I'm just going to go ahead and post that video that I took down at the end of this video. But going back to hacking, bringing down the grid would be one of the most catastrophic things to hit the United States because we are very reliant on technology. It would leave us very defenseless and vulnerable. And like the movie states, it just wasn't one nation. It was basically all our enemies combined that were hacking and targeting the United States. Now, here's what I also found odd in the movie as well. In almost every circumstance, the media, the powers that be, even people who are plants for the powers that be, always bash conspiracy theorists. They always call them crazy. But the movie points out towards the end that conspiracy theorists might not be so crazy after all. They may be the ones who are right. They may be the ones who are well prepared for the hacking, for the sicknesses that are to come. And they are telling us in this movie, the same people who always seem to oddly bash conspiracy theorists. You have Kevin Bacon at the end, who plays the conspiracy theorist, who is well equipped, well prepared, tell the other characters that it's just not China. It's the Koreans, it's Russia, it's the Iranians. All we're seeing in the news lately is how all these countries are coming together to hack the United States, and other countries are allies. Just this article right here: United States, Japan, South Korea step up efforts to counter North Korea's cyber threats. So see, it's not just China. Terrifying hacks on critical infrastructure have already arrived. America is not ready. An Iran-linked hacker group with ties to the Iranian state itself took control of a part of the municipal water authority in western Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. Isn't it just such a coincidence? Isn't it just such odd timing that all these countries are getting together now to bring down the United States infrastructure through hacking? Then I'm guessing those who are let in from the southern border are then going to proceed to begin a rampage throughout a dark United States. But this is all for entertainment purposes. I'm not saying it's going to happen. If an ex-president, Barack Obama, can write a script about something like this happening to the United States, why can't I create a entertaining video about something like this happening to the United States? Something that I see taking place in his quote-unquote fictional movie. So then you may be saying, well, what should I do? Should I just give up? Should I just panic? No. Just like the movie warns at the very end of the movie, you just have to be well prepared. You have to stock up. If you go to the grocery store, get 2 cases of water if you can afford it. Stock up on canned goods just in case. Because they have been letting us know left and right in the media about these hackers. And if the grid does go down, if technology does go down across the United States, you don't want to be stuck in a situation where now you can't buy anything. Because your debit card, your credit card will be useless. Now, this video might be a little bit more fear-inducing, and I do hear people in my comment section say, well, Mental Horror, you're just spreading fear, you're selling fear. But I never hear anybody say, Mental Horror, you're lying, you're a liar, because all my sources are backed up. In this video, I am getting the source from the scriptwriter, the producers themselves of Leave the World Behind, who, like I said, eerily and coincidentally, everything is coming to fruition. Slowly but surely. Everything we see is just one big script. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this video with that video that I deleted about the Russian man who boarded the plane. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support. This airplane story is absolutely bizarre and terrifying, but it really shows the times that we're living in, the carelessness, and where we are heading. The point of this story is that in a post 9/11 world, airplanes, airports, and those who work in the airports do not play around with the play around in a post 9/11 world. But we do live in 2023, and we do know they are gearing something up. They are turning the old cranks for something to happen, and this story just proves it. Man travels on an international flight without a passport. Now, this article came out on December 13th, but this actually happened in November. Authorities are investigating how a man flew from Copenhagen to Los Angeles on a Scandinavian Airlines flight last month without a passport, visa, or a plane ticket. Now, do I really need to say anything more for you to connect the dots? Matter of fact, I can just end this video right here, because we see what's happening. I can understand a visa. I can understand how an ID was missed, even though there's no excuse for that. But a plane ticket? They don't allow anything free. In today's world, you even have to pay for water. Pretty much you have to pay for oxygen. You have to pay for the basic necessities to live. But they let this man board an airplane without a plane ticket. The Russian man, identified as Sergei Vladimirovich Achagava, allegedly boarded the plane in Denmark on November 4th, somehow managing to bypass security and gate agents at Copenhagen Airport, according to an affidavit filed by an FBI agent. So this man just didn't bypass a gate agent who is possibly nodding off or texting and they missed this man. No. He even bypassed TSA, he bypassed security. Nothing here in this article states, or any article that I can find, states that he was hiding, sneaking, or entered a secret area inside the airport in order to board this flight. He waltzed right past security, and then he waltzed right past the gate agent to board this flight, like any other person with a ticket. But this story just doesn't end there. Oh no, Achagava was even more brazen once he was on board the flight. According to court documents, he reportedly requested 2 meals during each meal service on the 12-hour flight, changed seats regularly, and tried to chat with his fellow passengers. Even at one point, he attempted to eat the chocolate that belonged to the members of the cabin crew. What this sounds like to me is that this man is a spy and he is scoping out just how lax air travel is. Achagava is really doing the most, and he is not trying to hide one bit what he's doing on this plane. Make no mistake, this is not a person who bought a ticket, an airplane ticket, and ended up on the wrong flight. No, he did not have an airplane ticket whatsoever. No identification. Now, the crew members thought this man was acting very suspicious. They did not even see his boarding pass. But the only thing that tipped them off that something was not right is that the seat that he was sitting in was supposed to be unoccupied, which that is a very terrifying situation, that being the only thing to tip you off that something's not right, because you do have airlines like American Airlines where you can swap your seat without any notice. Some members of the crew conducted head counts for their specific sections, but that's only to make sure the aircraft was balanced for takeoff and landing. They did not tally the numbers up. Officials discovered he was on board without a plane ticket when he landed in Los Angeles, as he wasn't listed on the passenger manifest. Achagawa attempted to enter the United States, telling border officials he left his passport on the plane, but no document was found. He was taken into custody carrying identification from Russia and Israel, according to reports. Officials believe he is a Russian citizen, and Achagawa told the FBI he had a PhD in economics and marketing and last worked as an economist in Russia a long time ago. So the FBI asked Achagawa the question that we all want an answer to. How did he get through security in Copenhagen without a plane ticket? His answer? Achagawa claimed he did not remember how he went through security without a ticket. He just did. Wow, are these plane stories getting scarier and scarier as of 2023 on purpose? It definitely seems that way. In a post 9/11 world, how does something like this happen? Matter of fact, in a post 10/7 world, how does something like this happen? Because we are constantly being told that 10/7 is the new 9/11. Matter of fact, that 10/7 is even worse than 9/11. Even more strange a story like this would come out given the fact that since 10/7, we have been in a worldwide travel caution. The court filing says Achagawa told officials he did not even remember how he got on the plane in the first place and wouldn't explain how or when he got to Copenhagen. So yeah, like I said, it definitely sounds like some people back in some country, possibly even here, who knows, this all sounds like one big setup, especially how they've been handling the border. But it definitely seems like some people want some information just how lax airline travel has become. Achagawa pleaded not guilty this month to a violation of the U.S. criminal code that bars people from stowing away on an airplane. Doing so is a felony that carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison. So either way, it sounds like this man is going to get a much needed cavity search that he deserves. But like I said, who knows, they might just release him back to wherever he came from just to report this information. The Scandinavian Airlines said it would only confirm that there was a situation regarding a passenger on a flight from Copenhagen last month, but would not elaborate in a statement to the New York Times. The airlines added the investigators from both countries are looking into the incident. So there's two ways we can look at this story, because I do not believe the official story. I do not believe in today's world, with everything going on in the Middle East, that an ordinary man was just able to bypass security without a ticket, was able to bypass gate agents without a ticket or identification, and was able to board this airplane and sit down. I just don't buy that story. Now, I actually looked more into this story, and come to find out, Sergey said that he boarded the flight in a state of utter confusion and excused the criminal act committed trapped in insomnia. We have actually heard this story once before in a recent terrifying plane story, where a man said that in an act of confusion and insomnia, he almost brought the entire plane down. On October 22nd, Joseph Emerson, 44, an Alaska Airlines pilot, was accused of trying to shut off the engines of a plane mid-flight because he was under the effects of psychedelic mushrooms he had taken 2 days before the flight. He states he has never taken mushrooms before, and ingesting these mushrooms left him in a state of confusion and insomnia for 2 days. He also continues to state that during that 48 hours, he was thinking about a lot of traumatic things, and he was reliving a lot of that trauma. Once boarding this plane, and this pilot who was not assigned to this plane was able to get to the cockpit and sit down, he thought by turning off the engines on the plane, he would automatically wake up. So now we have another story where a man oddly bypasses security and a gate agent in a state of confusion and insomnia, and boards this plane for no apparent reason. The confusion definitely sounds right because it's been reported that this man was ordering 2 meals at a time during mealtime. So could these be MK Ultra mind control victims that are assigned to bring down a plane? We don't know, but what we do know is that MK Ultra is very real. The drug of choice for MK Ultra is LSD, things like mushrooms. People do relive trauma. They are put through trauma and traumatic experiences when under MK Ultra. Now, I don't fully know about the Russian man or his complete story, but still, there is that odd similarity to Joseph Emerson's story. Or this man could be a spy, just to report back just how easy it is to board and take over an airplane. Before we say that's not possible, just look at what they're doing at the southern border. People from every country, men who are of conflict age, are entering through the border. Countries like Iran, countries like China, countries like Russia are entering through the southern border into the United States. So it would make sense that they would try something like this as well. But just like the southern border, where they are allowing people to come in from all these countries and even shipping them off to New York, I know they want to prove a point by telling New York, hey, your policies suck, but that leaves the rest of us in danger. But it's designed to be that way, just like this incident was possibly designed as well. But whatever has happened here, something is happening. This story in a post 9/11 world, in a post 10/7 world, where we are under worldwide caution alert, this story is just a little too suspect for my liking. In any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.